blocked my way so I cannot move. He has plunged my path into darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He has demolished me on every side, and I am finished. He has uprooted my hope like a fallen tree. His fury burns against me. He counts me as an enemy. And then he just continues on, and again, it just comes gushing up. This is Job's response. Again, the charge with God for all the pain of the heart. Again, the loneliness. But yet again, he seems to affirm once again. He warns us that evil is fleeting. He helps us to understand that punishment will eventually and ultimately come to the wicked, and implies that Job's trials were a result of his. This is in Job. Job 19 was the response, and then Zophar speaks again in chapters 20 and 21. Let me get caught up here. Sorry. Chapters 20 and 21, Zophar, seemingly the youngest of the first three, and he replies. And basically what we learn in chapters 20 and 21, again, is the fact that the evil is fleeting, punishment is coming, and everything that's happening to Job has come about simply as a result of his sin. And that's the conclusion that Zophar comes to, again, as he states in chapter 20 here, his own philosophical way of looking at things. Then we come to chapter 21. Job will respond. This is his seventh speech. Job chapter 21. Here's what Job says when he speaks again. Listen closely to what I'm saying. That's one consideration you can give me. Bear with me and let me speak. After I have spoken, you may resume mocking me. My complaint is with God, not with people. I have good reason to be so impatient. Look at me and be stunned. Put your hand over your mouth in shock. When I think about what I'm saying, I shudder. My body trembles. Now, here's an interesting point that many people, there's been a lot of discussion, no doubt, in certain circles. Listen to the next verse. This is often discussed in commentaries and just in writings in general among God's people. Verse 7. Why do the wicked prosper? Growing old and powerful? They live to see their children grow up and settle down. And they enjoy their grandchildren. That's interesting. I've tried throughout the series to put myself in his shoes. How would I feel? How would I feel toward God? How would I feel toward these men, his peers, who, according to Job himself, are mocking him? How would I feel? His 10 children, as we know, are dead. So obviously, if there's no children, there's no grandchildren. Job can't enjoy his grandchildren. Job can't enjoy perhaps the way others are then you have to read on through the remainder of the chapter. But look at verse 27. This is interesting. Job says, look, I know what you're thinking. I know the schemes you plot against me. You will tell me of rich and wicked people whose houses have vanished because of their sin. But ask those who have been around, and they will tell you the truth. Evil people are spared in times of calamity and are allowed to escape disaster. No one criticizes them openly or pays them back for what they've done. And when they carry to their grave, an honored guard keeps watch at their tomb. A great funeral procession goes to the cemetery. Many pay their respects as the body is laid to rest, and the earth gives sweet repose. How can your empty cliches comfort me? All your explanations are lies. Chapter 22. We enter now into the third cycle of speeches. This is Eliphaz once again. He will speak to us. Oops, sorry. Eliphaz in chapters 22, 23, and 24 are interesting, needless to say. Eliphaz once again has been the pattern, once again accuses Job of sin here in chapter 22. And this is his third response to Job. Listen to what he says. Can a person do anything to help God? Can even a wise person be helpful to him? Is it any advantage to the Almighty if you are righteous? Would it be any gain to Him if you were perfect? Is it because you're so pious that He accuses you and brings judgment against you? No. Listen to this. It's because of your wickedness. There's no limit to your sin. Now, if we just stop there for a moment, go all the way back to chapter 1 and be reminded of what was told us about this man initially. And what were we told? We learned in chapter 1 that Job, there was a man who lived in the land of Uz. He was upright and blameless, feared God, and shunned evil. Is that correct? That's what the Bible says about this man. So how could they dare make such an accusation against Job when God says he fears me? He's blameless. He's upright. He shuns evil. Keep that in the back of your minds. So this is Eliphaz's third response. And once again, he basically, this is an interesting thought here, and we learned this in chapter 22, particularly probably verses 12 through 20 or 22. He seems to be saying that Job trusts, but he trusts in God's distance. And then again, in verses 21 through 30, I wish we had the time to read it, but I encourage you to look at these verses. Job 22, 21 through 30. And again, this appeal on his part for Job to just put away sin. That's his appeal. Chapter 23, again, Job's turn. This is number 8. This is his 8th response, and of course, it's his response.